Here with St. Paul's coach Steve Mask. Coach, you guys entered the season with a lot of expectations as a #1 team. You've won them all. Just give people a snapshot of your team and what got you here.
Well, what got us here is we have a major desire to succeed, not only in football within our school framework, and we've got a group of kids that from day one have done everything that we've asked of them to do, and then the other thing is, Josh, we've got good players, so that has a whole lot to do with it.
Talk about some of the guys who have really excelled for you guys this year.
Well, on offense, it starts with Austin McPherson. Our tailback was All-State last year as a 10th grader. He's had a phenomenal year. He's become the all-time leading rusher at St. Paul's. And then Miller Mosley, our quarterback, has played extremely well for us as of late. And then our offensive line is probably the best offensive line in the 6 years I've been at St. Paul's. They've played very well. And the other thing, probably the one thing, Josh, that we've been very lucky as far as injuries are concerned. We've lost a couple of players for the year, but this time of year we're relatively healthy.
You guys definitely have a difference maker on defense. Tell people about him.
Jalen Thompson's a great athlete. I mean, we use him a lot on offense as well. He's a tremendous kick returner. He's sort of a guy I equate as a basketball player. You want him to hit a three early and get him going. Jalen's that way, and there's very few people that challenge him outside. And when they do, he has a tendency to make a play and pick the thing off or make a tremendous hit. So he is definitely a great athlete.
You know, it's been a few years since St. Paul's played in the championship game. You've coached in the game before. What will be the message that you give to your players? Because it can be different. You're playing in a bigger stadium. You might be playing on a different day than you normally play. Just what sort of advice can you give your team?
Well, by being there, several times as assistant coach and as a head coach, you can't make the game any bigger than it is. It's already big. So you got to caution your players about don't get caught up in the surroundings. The field is still 120 yards long and 54 yards wide, and the advantage I think that we do have is that we've got kids that have been in big games in the last 4 or 5 years with the Spanish Force that we played and Benjamin Russell. So we've been there. We haven't necessarily got to Auburn or Tuscaloosa, but we've been in games that are just as big or have been just as big to us as this one would be.
What will be the keys for your team this week?
I think, Josh, like any game, it goes back to turnovers. If we can force turnovers, don't turn it over.